Okay everyone, so you should now be able to hear me and see me. I'm going to wait until I see some feedback in the YouTube chat. So far we've got a couple of comments in there, but no one's acknowledged that they can hear me yet. So just let me know when you can hear me so that I know I can go ahead with the stream, because I don't really fancy spending the next 20 minutes doing a quiz and then finding out that none of you can actually hear me. Okay, we are getting yes, can hear you, and then there was also someone saying it was a bit loud, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my microphone down just a tiny bit, and then if anyone needs me to turn it back up at some point, then you just let me know, and that should be a little bit better for you. Okay, so in case you guys don't already know how to connect and do the quiz, the way you do it is you go to this website that you can see on the screen at the moment. It's called myquiz.org. It's a lot like Kahoot, and all you have to do is enter in this quiz code. It does heavily imply that you have to create an account, but I promise you, you don't need to go ahead and create an account. You can just give yourself a nickname and then come in without an account, and then you'll be able to partake in the quiz just like everybody else. And then the same person that told me I was being too loud is now telling me I'm too quiet, so I'm going to go ahead and pretend, well, I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's a bit of a piss take. So yeah, we're going to give everyone a couple of minutes to get in, and then we're going to start the quiz. So at the moment, obviously, many countries around the world are in lockdown. Everyone's in isolation, so we can't really go outside. So I thought Saturday night, rather than going out clubbing, because that's obviously definitely what I do on my Saturday nights, instead I will be hosting a RMDTech tech quiz, because, well guys, let's face it, the majority of pub quiz style quizzes, they tend to ignore us techies. They don't tend to have very many questions focused on technology. Occasionally you might get one or two, but they're usually history or things like that that tend to come up. Things that more people are likely to know. Okay, so I'm just going to have a quick read through the chat. Hello Fahim, Luke, hello, Yinks, hello again. What would you have your arbiter do? Hello to you. Fully buffered, thank you for coming along, great to see you again. It's been a while since we last spoke. I really enjoyed doing that podcast with you. If you guys watching this haven't already seen the podcast, you can go ahead and watch that on Budget Build's official channel. You can go watch that podcast. There's me and some other great content creators on there, and I hope you guys do go watch it because it was really good fun making. Okay, we're going to give everyone a few more minutes to keep coming in here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So I do have the power to pause the quiz at any time, and there's a chance I might do that. In case you guys haven't already seen from the posts I made on YouTube and Discord and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, everywhere I've been promoting this, there are 4 rounds today, as well as 1 bonus question. Each round will consist of 10 questions, and each round will have a different theme. The first theme is computer hardware. We'll then be moving on to mobile phones. Then we'll be moving on to games consoles, and after that we'll be finishing off with video games. And then the bonus question, well, I'll leave you guys to guess what that's going to be about. So we're getting a couple more people in here now. I'm just going to quickly make a post on YouTube just so that everyone is aware that we are starting. So I'll give everyone a chance to get in. So I'll go to my community tab, and we will, everyone come join the live stream. We are starting now. Okay, and I'll do the same thing on Discord. Okay, so yep, we'll get all my tabs back open to, oh, that's the wrong screen. Okay, yeah, so we'll get that back open, and then I need this back open. Okay, so I was looking at my other monitor. Oh god, what's going on in the chat? I saw the word Brexit. This isn't a good start. I will slow mode you guys. Okay. Right, okay, that's an interesting YouTube chat. This is going to be an interesting stream. It's been my first time streaming in a very long time, actually, guys. So you have to bear with me. It's been a couple of years since I last did a live stream, and it's the first ever live stream on this channel. Okay. Am I forgetting anything before we start? I've announced it on Discord and YouTube. I need to give you guys. I'm going to put a quick link in the chat just in case you guys don't want to type it out yourself. So and then okay, so I've just put the link in the chat for you guys to go and click on that so you can join the quiz. We've got 18 people connected at the moment. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds to get in, and then we are going to go ahead and start. Oh my, okay, yeah, like I said, there's some interesting comments. It's the YouTube comment section. You really, anything, okay. Well, we've got a couple of people asking to delay for a few seconds because someone needs to go to the toilet. And I really will only delay for a couple of seconds because I'm already running a few minutes behind schedule. So Wawa, please hurry up. Let me know when you're back. Don't delay for Wawa. Yeah, can we get a hashtag don't delay for Wawa in the chat? Oh, I can do emojis. It's time to stop. Yeah, I didn't realize I could do emojis in the chat. Cool. Okay, Wawa, you have not got very long, and then we are starting. Right, when my computer's clock hits 9 minutes past 8, we are start. Ah, Wawa's back. Okay, never mind. We can start the game. Okay, if everybody is ready, we will begin in 3, 2, 1, and good luck, everybody. So, everyone, the very first question here is, which manufacturer uses this dragon to represent their brand? So I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to put in your answers. And hopefully you're all done. Excellent. Okay, so apologies to everyone that got that wrong, but by the looks of things, the vast majority of you did get it correct. It was indeed MSI. My Alexa just triggered. Okay, sorry, next question. Which manufacturer attempted to flip the ATX standard in the early 2000s? Okay, so your options are AMD, Intel, ARM, and Kodak. Ooh, okay, so there was a bit of a split on this one, actually. So yeah, back in the early to mid 2000s, Intel did in fact try to flip the ATX standard. I was going to quickly pause that because on that note, the reason why they tried to flip it was because it actually they said it provided much better cooling for the components on the motherboard, and so it should provide a longer life for everything going. Okay, right, and let's play that again. So, what does DDR stand for? It's a difficult one. Do you know it? Okay, yes, so DDR does stand for double data rate, and that's the reason why in some pieces of software you will see the RAM speed report exactly half of what it should be. Next question is, what was the maximum VRAM option on the 9800 GTX Plus? I did recently do a video on this, so if you guys are interested in that, then you can go ahead and, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, you should be, but if you're not already, go subscribe and then go back through my past video catalogue and you can watch that video. Okay, so yes, it was indeed 1 GB. There was only one graphics card with the 1 GB variant, so unfortunately, I'm really sorry to you guys who got the 512 megabytes, but Zotac did make a 1 GB version. Windows 3.2. Not many people have heard of this, so it's an interesting question. I'll be interested to see what all of you put. Oh, so the majority of you people thought it was indeed a trick question, and I'm sorry, it was not a trick question this time. It was indeed an update specific for the Chinese market, very on theme for my channel. So yes, that in the picture right there is indeed the Intel 4004. It was the first CPU that was entirely on one single chip, and it was, well, they finished manufacturing it in what year? That's the question. Okay, so there are lots of different types of chips that can store data, but which type of chip does an SSD use to store its data? Is it ROM, DRAM, NAND, or SSDC? God, that's a mouthful. SSDC, yeah. Try saying that one 3 times fast. Okay, so which of these is not a motherboard form factor? Is it DTX, BTX, EATX, TATX, or SWTX? It's a tricky one. Do you know the answer? I had to look this one up on Wikipedia, so who knows? Ooh, my apologies everyone, but surprisingly enough, SWTX is indeed a form factor. I didn't know that prior to doing this research and for this quiz, but it is indeed a motherboard form factor. Now, I thought I'd mix things up for this question. What is the world's most efficient supercomputer? Not the fastest, but the most efficient. Can I slow the quiz down? It's a little tricky to slow it down, but if we do another one, I can indeed slow it down. What I can do is pause the quiz. So I can pause it here, give everyone a chance to catch up, just make sure everyone's sort of not going too fast and everyone's all on the same page. Apologies for people who are still on 0 points, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Stream isn't loading. Okay, well, apologies that you're having issues with the stream not loading. Do be sure to go ahead and click refresh on the stream, see if you can get it running. It does appear to be working for the majority of people, so we're going to go ahead and keep going. But yeah, like I say, I can't really do much to slow the quiz down now. However, I will try to put in a couple of pauses so that everyone can sort of stay on the same page. Okay, let's press play. Okay, so which GPU are the majority of knockoff Wish graphics cards based upon? If you watch lots of my content, you should know this. I've done a lot of videos on the Wish scam GPUs, and I've just seen in the chat Budget Builds official's gone ahead and joined, so thank you very much for tuning in, Budget Builds. It's nice to see you again. So yes, the answer was the GTS 450. Apologies for everyone saying the GTX 650. Interestingly enough, as Budget Builds will know, recently a lot of the new RTX scam graphics cards have been using much more modern GPUs, such as the Fermi architecture of the GTX 650. So kind of right, but also unfortunately it's not the majority of scam graphics cards, so you're going to have to take the L on this one. And Android 7 has asked for a shout out in the chat, so I'm not going to do it for everyone, but Android 7, shout out to you. Okay, let's press play on the quiz. Next question. What's it going to be? And I should probably note, the next question is in fact going to be the next round, so we are done for PC hardware. Yes, this is now indeed the round for mobile phones, so I've quickly just paused everything so you won't be able to answer, but I'm going to press play in a second. This is now the mobile phones round, okay? So the next 10 questions are all going to be about mobile phones. You may play. Trading my turtle, no, unfortunately you cannot donate, but you can join my Discord and be active in that, because that would mean just as much to me. Thank you. Yep, so the majority of you guys got that question correct. It was indeed 2007. For everyone that said 2005 and 2008, I apologise, but you were so close, but unfortunately too far away. So, which company unveiled the world's first foldable phone? Was it Samsung, Motorola, IBM or Royale? Now, it's important to note, we are not talking about flip phones, we are talking about foldable smartphones, okay? Not flip phones. Go ahead and make your answers. Oliver, there is no Nokia option. Oh, yes, so it was not Samsung or Motorola, it was indeed Royale, because they indeed were a company that was created for the sole purpose of creating flexible displays. However, because they were able to sort of develop that technology so quickly, they wanted to beat Samsung to the punch, so they released a really half-assed phone that was, well, let's be honest, quite shit. And yes, James in the chat, it was indeed the FlexPi. Okay, so which country was the first to adopt 3G technology? Was it the USA, Japan, the UK or Germany? I'm going to give you a hint. It's not the UK. It's never, ever the UK. Oh, and it looks like my hint came in too late for at least a couple of you who put the UK. For all those that put the USA, that was a good guess because the USA get a hell of a lot of things first. Unfortunately, this time it was not the USA. Indeed, it was what the majority of people put, it was Japan. So yeah, Japan were the first commercial 3G network, as well as having the first experimental 3G network. So, this question, I'm sure the majority of you are going to have to guess, unless you're incredibly good at remembering numbers. So, what was the amount of smartphones being used worldwide in the third quarter of 2012? Are your answers in? Everyone got your answers in? Okay. What's the answer? Ooh, 1 billion. So the majority of you guys were indeed wrong. It wasn't 500 million, it wasn't 2 billion, it was 1 billion. That at the time was just under 20% of the world's population. That's quite a few. So, in which year was the term smartphone first used in print? So, yeah, sure, people might have said smartphone in a conversation prior, but when was it first used in a news article or web blog? Is everyone ready? It was indeed 1995. Yes, it was used far earlier than the majority of people would have expected. As we can see in the notes down at the bottom, down in this little section down here where my mouse cursor is, it was first used in 1995, 1 year after the introduction of the Simon, describing AT&T's phone writer communicator. So unfortunately, Steve Jobs, you did not invent the smartphone. You were about 12 years too late to that one. Oh, this is getting exciting. Okay, so we are on question 15 out of 41. Let's keep it going. In which year did Microsoft release Windows Mobile? So as we all know, Windows Mobile overall has been a massive failure for Microsoft. They've had to pull out of the smartphone game, although they are trying to get back into it, just not with Windows Mobile. Okay, so is everyone ready? Let's see what the answer was. So yeah, surprisingly guys, it was actually 2003. I can see the majority of you there have put 2009, but well, in reality, Microsoft actually introduced Windows Mobile far earlier than you previously would have expected. And, well, surprisingly, it wasn't actually just called Windows Mobile, it was called Windows Mobile 3.0, despite being the first version. Okay, is everyone ready with this one? Which version of Android followed Android KitKat? Well, you've got 3 options. Let's see how many of you got it right. Okay, so luckily there, the majority of you guys did get that one correct. Now, this, if you know the rule, this is fairly easy. So, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat. So, yeah, as we can see, we've got marshmallow, nougat, and lollipop. And so, if you don't already know, Android versions follow the A, B, C, D sort of alphabetical order. So after KitKat comes L. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, marshmallow nougat. Okay, so what was the first iPhone to include wireless charging technology? It was true that iPhones got them much, much later than any of their Android alternatives, but when did they finally get them? Is everyone ready with their answers? I sure hope so. It's time to check the answer. Yep, so it was indeed the iPhone 8. The vast majority of you guys got that one right. iPhone 6 definitely didn't have it. That was far too early. The iPhone XS, yeah, that did have it, but it definitely wasn't the first. So USB-C, we can't live without it because, well, it's just such a fantastic connector. Once you've switched to it, it makes it difficult to believe that we ever used micro USB. But what was the first phone to ever use it? Do you guys know? Let's find out. Yeah, so surprisingly enough, it was the phone that no one's heard of. It was the LETV LE1. I'd never heard of it prior to this, but it was indeed the very first phone to use USB Type-C, at least according to the article that I was reading on the internet. You guys can Google it if you don't believe me. Okay, so Android devices weren't always around. So what was the very first one to exist? And yes, that's the one in the picture. That was the world's very first Android phone. If you guys are interested, maybe I'll try and get my hands on one and do a video. I have no idea how rare they are. I'm going to go ahead and guess probably quite rare, but I can always try and track one down and do a video. So yeah, it did indeed take 1 year after the release of the iPhone for Android to release their alternative. So that brings us on to the next round of our quiz. This is now the games console round, where we will be looking at 10 questions all about games consoles. They won't focus on video games, just the games consoles themselves. So if everybody is ready, we're going to go ahead and begin. And, oh, hang on, let's pause it quickly because I'm getting told off because apparently that was the first Android phone, not the first Android device. So I do apologise. I do apologise for everyone that called me out on that one. So let's continue with round number 3, games consoles. Okay. So, yep, the majority of you guys did go ahead and get that one right. It was indeed the Odyssey, released in 1972. I think that's probably far before any of us were born. So, the Sega Mega Drive was also known as what? So it was called the Sega Mega Drive in North America, but what was it called outside of North America? Is everybody ready? Okay, answers are going to be checked in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay then. Apologies for everyone that got that one wrong, but the vast majority didn't get it right. It was indeed the Sega Genesis. This is a logo that the majority of you guys are going to recognise, at least I would hope so anyway. It was released only in Japan, but what was the name of the very first Nintendo console? LTTstore.com. So yes, Color TV Game 6. I didn't know it, but at least according to Wikipedia, that was the very first console released by Nintendo. I'm getting told that I'm wrong in the chat, so maybe after the stream we'll have a double check on that one, but nice one, James, none of these. Yeah, well, we will see. According to Wikipedia, it is indeed the first games console released by Nintendo, but if someone wants to dispute me on that, then we can go ahead and argue about that afterwards. Okay, so what was the first ever webcam accessory for the a home games console, and specifically a home games console, not a portable console. Okay, yeah, so it was the Dream Eye. Surprisingly, it wasn't the iToy. I was previously under the impression that it was the iToy for the PlayStation 2. I had one of those and I absolutely loved it. I used to use it all the time. I had the game where you could clean windows by waving your hands about, and I can safely say that it was my favourite game on the PlayStation 2. Was that a little bit sad? Yeah, probably just a little bit. But I really enjoyed it. So, what was the first games console to include HDMI output and Wi-Fi as standard? Have you guys all guessed? Has everyone got their answers in? Got a few more seconds to make your guesses? Okay, is everyone ready? Let's check. So yeah, it was indeed the PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 had it all before all the other consoles. All by standard. So the Xbox 360 didn't actually come with Wi-Fi as standard. You had to buy it, in the very first version anyway, you had to buy it as an external dongle. So which of these consoles was released last? Was it A, the Nintendo Entertainment System, B, the Sega Master System, C, the Atari 2600, or D, the SC3000? Has everyone guessed? I hope so. Okay. Yeah, so it was indeed the Sega Master System, released in 1986. That's 14 years before I was released. So, which was the first console to support wireless controllers? And yes, in the chat I can see people saying anyone with more than 50 points is cheating. If you are cheating, then shame upon you, because this is supposed to be good fun, and if a £10 Steam voucher is really worth that much, then boo-hoo to you. But I trust you all. I trust that you are all not cheating, and you are all being good, kind people that would never do that. So, yeah, I know, this is a bit of a tricky question, and let's face it, no one's going to know the answer to this one, at least not off the top of their heads anyway. At least I'd hope not. If you remember that sort of thing, then I'm going to be impressed. So yeah, it was indeed the Sega Genesis, and did you know back in that era of games consoles, they were actually referred to as, okay, it's easy, sure, Android 7, if you think that question's easy, then we'll say it's easy. But I, for one, didn't know that. I thought it'd be a difficult one. So yeah, do you guys know which one of these consoles was released first? They were only released within a week of each other. So, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure most of you guys guessed that, because that was a pretty 50-50 even split there. So yes, it was indeed the PlayStation 4, only a week ahead of the Xbox One. If any of you guys get this question wrong, I'm going to be sorely disappointed, because this one is incredibly easy. This question should be so easy for every single person, techie or not. Good. I am glad 100% of you got that right, because if you didn't, I would be very, very disappointed. What is the best-selling video game of all time? Ah, wait, that's a new round. Yeah, the only issue with this website is it doesn't make it obviously clear that there's a new round coming up. So yes, this is the next round. This is the video game round. We have finished with the console round. I apologise for that. But the question is, what is the best-selling video game of all time? Take a guess. Yeah, it is indeed Minecraft. So a lot of you guys said Tetris, and that's a fair enough answer, because it was only recently that Minecraft overtook Tetris, when Minecraft recently hit 180 million worldwide sales. So, which game featured a bug which made Gandhi attempt to nuke all other players? Yep, that was a pretty interesting bug, and one that I can say I definitely did enjoy. Yep, thank you everyone that got that one right. It was indeed Civilization, my favourite game franchise of all time. anyone wants to play Civilization with me, then do be sure to drop me a message on Discord. I don't get time, but I would love to pretend I could. I do get time. That would be nice. Okay, so in which stage of the game were ghasts added to Minecraft? Was it alpha, beta, or was it in the full release? Yeah, surprisingly guys, it was indeed alpha. I had absolutely no idea. I also would have guessed it would have been in beta, like the majority of you guys guessed. However, yeah, I would have been right in the middle of with you, all of you guessing it was beta. But surprisingly, nope, they were added in alpha version 1.2. So, what is the highest level a player can actually reach in Pac-Man? Just be careful with the wording there, because it could be a bit of a trick question. Yep, so the majority of you guys did indeed get that right. It was level 256 because there was a bug in the game code which meant you could not pass any further. So, what does Mario jump on when he completes a level? I know, it's an incredibly easy answer that if any of you get wrong, I will be probably ready to cry because, well, we should all know that. Oh dear. Oh dear. Which 30% of you got that wrong? Bitter disappointments. So, in which year did Epic Games first tease Fortnite, the game that would then go on to earn me lots of money through monetization, through putting it in the thumbnail and adding it in the tags of my videos, but also cause a wave of horrendous 8-year-olds making videos? Yeah, it went all the way back to 2011. That's when Epic Games first teased Fortnite. It was in a... I can't remember. If anyone remembers, put it in the chat next to the video, and then we can all share in how Epic Games teased that. So, how many variations of the 4 connected blocks exist in Tetris? Do you all know the answer? I didn't know the answer. It is indeed 7. Just under 50% of you managed to get that one right. And fun fact for you, did you know that Tetris blocks are called tetraminos? That's a fun little fact that I didn't know. So, which popular video game character goes by the codename Killer Bee? Who knows this one? There's a good chance you might have to guess it. Oh, not everyone got their answers in that time. So yeah, it is Cammy White from Super Street Fighter 2. That was back in the 90s. So yeah, everyone guessed about equally on that one. So we are coming now towards the end of the video game round. So let's all get ready. What was Mario's original name? Was it Mr. Video, Jumpman, or Wario? Jumpman. Yep. So Mr. Video was actually a working title for Mario. However, Jumpman was the only one that actually made it into the game, and it made it into Donkey Kong. So this is the final question of the video game section. So the question is, what is the Master Chief's first name? Is it David, John, or Stephen? You should be able to guess this one. It's a fairly easy one to guess. Oh yes, it is indeed John. John is the first name of the Master Chief, however nobody knows his surname. That surname is forever unknown. So this is the bonus question. What was the very first RMDTech video to hit 100,000 views? So, everyone go ahead and put your answers in. Does everyone know it? You can quickly check the YouTube channel if you don't know. Ooh, there we go. It was indeed GTX 960 for £30 on Wish. It was not I built a PC only using Wish. That was not my, actually surprisingly not my most recent video to hit 100,000 views. I bought an untested graphics card mystery box was actually my most recent video to hit 100,000 views. So congratulations to our winner. You should actually have a message on your screen with a secret code which you can message to me either on Discord or my email that you can find on my YouTube channel. If you send that to me, I will then go ahead and we can add each other on Steam, and I'll send you a £10 Steam gift card that you can use to spend on whatever you like. So thank you all for tuning into, well, the very first live stream on the RMDTech channel. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and if you did, then we can probably do this again. We do this again sometime. I probably won't do another £10 Steam gift card giveaway because, well, let's face it, we're probably going to be facing a recession sometime soon. Thank you, coronavirus, and I'd like to keep my £10. So, unfortunately, no more £10 for you guys, but if you want to do another quiz like this again in a week or 2 weeks' time, then I'm more than happy to make another one, and we can do another live stream. RMDTech, can you give my friend a shout out? I don't know who your friend is, so Android7, here's a shout out to your friend. I don't know what his name is. So yeah, thank you guys for all coming out and watching the live stream. I will see you in the next video or the next live stream, whichever one comes first. Probably a video. Ah, it's Ben Hawthorne. Shout out to Ben Hawthorne.